So, it's been a whole month since I said that I would light up all of the map within the pre-biomes area, and I've done it. It's taken a whole month. Look at that, so much light. Um, well, today we're gonna go on a little sightseeing tour, because I haven't actually built anything, right? I've just been laying down torches for 4 weeks. But there's a few interesting places around the map that we can have a look at. And the first place would be the lagoon, there, to the east of my base. So that's my base over there, that's the tower, and behind us is the lagoon. That's one of my fortresses, or outpost, or whatever you want to call it. Basically kind of a crater surrounded by small hills, small mountains on 3 sides and a beach on the last. I don't know what I want to do here yet. I haven't quite... No, I'm thinking maybe something along the ridge, you know, around the top of the hills around the crater. Maybe a kind of a walkway and a little garden or something. Not sure. Not too sure, but yeah, so it's surrounded on 3 sides of hills. That's always a good opportunity to create a little... Ooh, leather. To create a little piece of architectural setting. Because, you know, it's kind of self-contained and you can... Like the view is framed, so on the left and on the right is the hills. So it lends itself quite easily to a good composition, you know. Maybe something on 2 sides, or maybe even... Yeah, so it's a good... It's already got a good natural vista, so it shouldn't be too hard to build a little something to complement it and make it something quite nice. Anyway, that's that. I haven't thought too much about this one. Alright, next stop is the Hollow Mountain. Back to the map. So the next place we want to look at is to the northwest of my base. Almost at the corner here. The Hollow Mountain. It's basically, well, it's a mountain with a big hole in the middle. And quite a dramatic landscape. We'll have a look at it now. So I've walked across the map, and here we are, looking at the Hollow Mountain. And this trees in front is a bit unfortunate, you can't really see the whole thing. But the mountain itself is so big anyway, and so complicated that, you know, whereas at the lagoon you could, at one vantage point, see pretty much the whole thing laid out. Here, this thing is big, and it's fairly complicated, and so you can't do that. So we're walking into the hole in the middle, and you can see dramatic cliffs on all sides basically. And again with this one I haven't quite decided what to do, and this is, you know, even more complicated than the last one, because being all around you and being so big that you can't see it all in one go, there's a lot of different views to consider and a lot of different possible ways of exploring. Look, there's another hole there, so you could have climbed up the other side. There's a hole here, and there's another hole there, and a big overhang cave there, another level there. It's just complicated, right? And yeah, I might save this for quite a bit later, because I really don't know what to do with this. I'll walk out again so we can see it from the outside as well. And it's also fairly close to the boundary. You might remember that there's another thing there which you couldn't see from the other side. You might remember that I said I would build a wall around, you know, because of the different landscape generation algorithms from before the Halloween patch and after, causing, you know, this mismatch. I was gonna build a wall on this boundary, right? And as you can see, the wall kind of, the mountains will sit right next to the wall. It kind of goes up there, across, and then towards the back again. So I might even have to build the wall before I can decide what to do here. Because obviously having this huge wall right next to it will have an impact on what I can and cannot do. Okay, let's walk this way. This side is... whoa. Yeah, so there's cabins down here. This side is not quite as interesting. But it will be next to a wall. So I hesitated for a moment there because it's turning dark, right? And I'm thinking, wow, I'm all the way out here. I need to get back to shelter. And then I thought, wait a minute, I've put torches down everywhere. I don't need shelter anywhere. I can just keep walking around. Okay. We'll walk back. So yeah, and there's waterfalls and everything. At the moment it's more of a nuisance than anything. Well actually I hope I've placed torches everywhere. There's always the chance that I've left a patch of unlit ground somewhere and then a creeper's gonna jump out from the sky and explode on me. Quite possible. So yeah, so cliffs and caves and mountains and even floating blocks everywhere. Look at this. So dramatic. Oops. We'll jump up here and look back. So like from every point you can climb to, you can kind of just turn back and look, and there's another view. So there's definitely a lot of things to consider. Hello sheep. And on this side, actually why not? Let's go up. This is probably the easiest way up to the top. This slope. Is it a... no, that's not a skeleton. That's a cow. So this is probably the easiest way up. And even then it's fairly steep, right? And up and up and up and up. Like it goes all the way up to cloud level, so it's very high up. We're as high as the top of the Hanging Gardens. So only about 20 blocks or so to the top of the map. Look at this. And so I have to consider the view from up here as well. Clouds. Man. Well, the cloud's in the way. That's a bit unfortunate. And that thing there, which, like, there's no natural path up there. You have to climb up using either blocks or... there's no way to walk up there or jump up there. I have no idea what I'm gonna do here. A pig killing itself on the cactus. Okay, animal cruelty time. Yes. I mean, oh, that's not very nice. So yeah, this is the Hollow Mountain. I have no idea how to deal with it. And I'm just walking back here to show you the lit up landscape. Lights everywhere. So many torches. Alright, next stop is the Hanging Gardens Part 2. So, as you might have guessed, Hanging Gardens Part 2 is going to be an extension of the existing Hanging Gardens. So that's what I built here, and if you remember, that's what I built. If you remember, right there, you know, it joined onto another mountain behind it, and at the time I didn't know what was behind there. Well, now I do, and I'll show you. It's about 3 times as big. So here we are. We're looking at the hanging gardens. We're on the mountain behind it. So, you know, that was the gardens, and then on the other side is the tower. There's a gap, and then there's more mountains behind it, right? And this is it. Like, these mountains, not particularly special. I mean, they're not quite as dramatic as the Hollow Mountain with the cliffs and holes and everything. But it's, well, I guess it's something. There's a hole back here. Actually, I'll get on the other side where we can see it better. But basically, there's plenty of scope for more terraces and more stuff. One of the things with my hanging gardens was, like, when I designed it, okay, I'm gonna have a mountain, I'll build some terraces, plant some trees, have some water. That's great, but then after I built it, I realized, well, there's trees and water all over the Minecraft world. It's not like having a mountain of them is anything special, right? Because look, there's more mountains here and more trees. So that's not really all that special. So in the part 2 of my hanging gardens, I might do some other things rather than just trees and water. But in any case, so the terraces stop there at the moment. I might extend them to wrap around this mountain range, and it goes all the way, you know, across for quite a long way. And then higher up terraces, it doesn't quite go as high up, so maybe not on the same level, or maybe just a lower level of terraces on the rest of it. And then I don't know. I don't really know what else to do. And also, part 1 of the hanging gardens, like, the mountain's quite steep. You couldn't climb up to the top. But here in part 2, there's a few places where you can just jump up. So it's a different sort of landscape. It's not quite as steep, and it's not quite as tall. So, and it goes on for quite a long way. So yeah, I'm not entirely sure what to do about it. But definitely the lower terrace. Oh, there's some water there. There'll be a lot of different things, I think. Instead of just having one thing, right, and having the fountain at the top, there'll be other bits to it as well. Yeah, not much to... Actually, we'll go back down to the ground and... Whoops, too far. So down here there's a... that's not very good looking neither, is it? So there's a little gap, and then in here there's this place, which is pretty cool, but you know, the entrance to it is not very... like, it's closed off on this side, so there's no... you know, it's quite hard to get to, and it's quite hard to get a good view of it, because it's... you know, there's no way you can stand back and look at it, except for maybe a few places on the edge, on the inside. Like, you know, it's hard to get a good angle on things. So yeah, that's... you know, it's smaller and not as complicated as the Hollow Mountain, but at the same time, it's more difficult to do something good with it, I think. And we're jumping around. Where are we going? Yeah, and this little pond here. I guess that's a waterfall as well. So there's little things, but nothing huge. So I guess the whole Hanging Gardens will be a collection of little things, little moments, little pieces here and there, with some pathways to connect them together. See, like, there's nothing really special here, is there? Anyway, I'll think about that, and on to the next thing. So the last place we're going to go to is the valley. So down to the southwest is this place, where there's basically mountains on 3 sides, and a flat bit down, well not quite flat, but it slopes down to water here. And it doesn't look that impressive on the map, but it's very good when you actually walk up to it. Let's go there now. And there it is, the valley. So we're on the eastern end of the water, so that's the big water bit at the bottom. And there's mountain on the left, mountain on the right. That's the Hanging Gardens part 2 as well. And then there's another mountain behind it. Let's walk up to it. I guess we'll go this way, around these trees. And so, you know, like the lagoon, obviously, like, you can see everything in one shot. And was it a zombie? It's probably a cave underneath us. So, you know, it lends itself well to a composition, a good view. And you can see it from a long way away, right? You know, because this is flat and you can look up. And this middle bit slopes up gently on either side the cliff. Look at that. Look at that. Awesome. And you know what? I know exactly what I'm going to do here. 3 statues. 2, I guess, soldiers on either side. And then 1 other statue back here. Probably of a woman holding up water and having the water cascade down, and these will become terraces of gardens, and well, it'll be water and pathways and I don't know what. So 3 statues, if you can imagine that, and with the cliffs on either side and water garden down the middle. So awesome. It's gonna be great. And look at it, look at it. Like it's the landscape lends itself so well to this sort of thing. And there's 2 openings behind. I don't know what to do about those. But remember, we're quite close to the boundary, so the walls will be built and it'll be behind here. So from up here we can look back down, and again it's framed on the left and on the right. I want to do this first, actually. Even before I start building the wall, I want to build these statues. I need to flatten that bit though, because these 2 will be the same, except, you know, they'll be facing each other. But they need to be the same height. So, and I think, you know, so that's the hill. I think the top of the map is actually up here, and so I think the statues will actually stand taller than the mountains. Well, I'll have to dig down, probably flatten that out. And then back here will be the 3rd statue. Yeah, it's gonna be great. It's very simple. There's the, you know, unlike the Hollow Mountain, there's not really that many ways to see this. So 3 statues. You know, it's quite easy to arrange the composition to make sure it looks good on all sides. These trees probably have to go. if you stand here and look. This might not be as good from this side, but it's okay. You can't have everything perfect. And if we climb up this thing, up, 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 up. Yeah, and imagine the statue. Actually, it should be here, wouldn't she? So the statue here, and then 2 more over there. I mean, it's just great. It's just great from every angle. It's gonna be awesome. Alright, that's all I got for this video. I think I'll have videos of me building the statues very soon. See you guys later. Look at this here. What's happening here is that since I've lit up every other part of the map, this is the only place the monsters can spawn, and so they're all concentrated here. There's a... oh my god, he's coming in. So yeah, they're just all over the place. I think if I walk back the other way, there'll be more space for them to spawn.